The Do Good Mavericko podcast, episode 45. A rising tide lifts all boats. You know, that saying is pretty old. But when it comes to investments and business, I think it's oftentimes very true as well. You know, Benjamin Graham, the author of The Intelligent Investor, which is actually one of the favorite books of Warren Buffett, the man they call the greatest investor in the world. And yeah, in that book, Benjamin Graham has a quote where he says, investment is most intelligent when it is most business-like. And I think it's oftentimes the same the other way around as well, that business is most intelligent when it is most investment-like. So if you try to think like an investor, you oftentimes can see things from an almost completely or very different perspective than if you just think about it as business. So yeah, when it comes to a rising tide lifts all boats, I especially think about trends and business models. But yeah, here's a few quotes. Wealth is created by a combination of many things, but one of them is catching new trends early. Tai Lopez. The business boat you get into is more important than how effectively you row. Warren Buffett. It's not about how hard you row, it's about what boat you are in. Warren Buffett. Should you find yourself in a chronically leaking boat, energy devoted to changing vessels is likely to be a more productive than energy devoted to patching leaks. Warren Buffett. But yeah, especially that one about it's not about how hard you row, it's about what boat you're in. Warren Buffett. Interesting. So what boat you're in. Then I think about yeah, what niche or category, what industry, and also what business model you choose. And one thing that really seems to be trending these days and grow a market that also seems to be growing and trending. And at the same time, I don't think it's a fad at all. I think it's really something that is here to stay, and that's paid communities. It gained a lot of popularity, especially after Alex Hormozi invested in the School platform that Sam Ovens launched. But paid paid communities online, it has existed for several years. But yeah, lately it seems to be trending even more. And I think as these social media platforms seems to be switching almost more and more away from being a social network to being more like social media, especially that media part of social. I think the case is that a lot of people are actually not getting that much connection and networking and masterminding. They lack a lot of that on these platforms. Facebook groups used to be a big thing a few years ago, but as Facebook changed its algorithm, nowadays a lot of Facebook groups that used to be thriving and doing amazingly well, they're broken. And you hear a few enthusiasts talking about, no, you just need to do things right, and Facebook groups are still great. Wrong. You can still do great with a Facebook group, but it's not what it used to be, and it's not working properly. Even notifications are not appearing as they should. If you're a member in a Facebook group and you post something, a question, for example, a lot of people can reply to it, comment on your post without you getting any notifications at all, because Facebook doesn't care. It's like Facebook, the Facebook platform don't want you to be spending a lot of time and engaging a lot in Facebook groups. It's like these days their algorithm wants you somewhere else, so they kind of just ignore things happening and decide to not give you notifications. That's just some of it. And also these days, how you cannot friend request anyone you want on Facebook, because if Facebook think it looks like you don't know this person, they won't let you send a friend request. And also, if you send a message to anyone on Facebook these days without them already being your friend, it seems like almost all of the time that message goes directly into the hidden message requests folder. So my point is, connecting with people on many of these social media platforms seems to be getting harder and harder. And when it comes to a lot of categories and industries out there, that connection part is extremely valuable, which is one of the many reasons I think communities definitely is here to stay. And especially if you choose it wisely, the paid community that you decide to launch. And if you launch something in a growing industry, it's a lot easier to grow than if you launch something in an existing industry where there is already a lot of competition and less demand and more supply. But if you go by, supply and demand, if you go to an industry where there's a lot of demand, a lot of people want to be a part of a paid community, but there's no supply, a paid community doesn't even exist online for many of these industries out there, then you can kind of just step in and launch, and it can be a lot easier to grow. And also in these days, when things are changing so fast, especially with AI, artificial intelligence, a lot of businesses are going to be made obsolete and completely disrupted by AI. But one thing that I think is pretty AI proof out there compared to the vast majority of other businesses is paid communities. Because the more of these automated AI tools and AI content is flooding the platforms, I think it's just going to make people crave real life personal connection even more. So yeah, a rising tide lifts all boats. So have you, if you have been dreaming about escaping the 9-to-5 rat race, living a life of freedom, having a full-time income online, or 5 figures in profit per month, or even more online, I'm not an expert at it. I've done a lot of mistakes over the years, but lately I've interviewed a bunch of owners of paid communities where they are making at least $10,000 or 5 figures in profit per month. I'm going to interview at least 30 of them so far. At the time of this recording, I just interviewed a few of them, but it's been mind-boggling and super exciting. And the industry seems to be growing very fast. So if you want to learn from those people, I suggest you check out communitycashcows.com. And on there, you can also connect with a bunch of other people that are also building a paid community. So yeah, check out communitycashcows.com.